3, 2, 1.
I'm reading this for the first time. Full disclaimer. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Go Mike. I'm your host, Mike. Tonight we have a lot to talk about. Mostly Mike. Here to talk about Mike with me. We have Mike, and Mike on target, hanging with Mike. Hey, Mike, where the fuck were you? Well, guys, that was fucking boring.
Yeah, imagine holding on to that for a month.
Dude.
But wait. That's why I hit you with it fast.
All right, I didn't look. I saw that something was fucky, and I was like, all right, fair. And I gave you some grace there.
Also, at the top, it says, Let's Go Mike, episode 100. Oh, this is 106. Date, Mike's birthday. Enemies, Harry Truman. Beer, Jack Sparrow. Morale, my spine. Leadership, fell in the water again.
Oh, I'm supposed to read that stuff too?
No.
Before the show, Mike check. Change Mike's intro to a thing if you want to.
Let's go, Mike. Round the fire with me, Mike.
You Mike music.
The other day, Mike finally got his laptop back, and he messages our group chat, and he's like, "Hey, can I get the show notes? I lost the link," and I immediately just start giggling to myself.
Yeah.
That's perfect because it gave me the opportunity to go, oh, he doesn't even have the show notes. So you can't even see what's going on ahead of time. It's all new and shiny.
It was quite shiny. It was all about me.
Gross.
So, yeah.
So how was everybody's Christmas?
How was Mike's Christmas?
First, Bob wants to know how the week was at the Swingers Resort, Michael.
Well, everybody else was swinging, and I was kind of poking. It was a little cold.
Well, the problem you see, Bob, is that he only fornicates with other mics. There were no other mics there.
You'd be surprised how many mics.
No, hold up. No. He's on an episode with Mike, and Mike. This is not happening.
I'm changing my intro name right now.
Yep, same.
Gross. I thought the problem was that he showed up with a baseball bat and was a little bit confused as to what was going on.
And then it all worked out, actually.
And I was like, well, I mean, I see some balls to hit.
Anyway.
How was Christmas, everybody?
Yeah, it was quite peaceful. We didn't do anything. We didn't go anywhere. We stayed home. We tried to order a pizza and everything was closed, so we had like mac and cheese.
You tried to order a pizza on Christmas?
I don't remember. It was a week ago.
You must have been intoxicated. Got it. Like Indian food and Chinese restaurants are usually open, but Domino's ain't gonna work out for you.
Yeah, no.
It's this local joint, Domino's.
We call it Bones for short.
I got a brand new laptop that I can't use.
What happened?
I don't have enough internets.
Parental lock.
Have you tried turning Safe Search off?
It's called incognito mode on this one.
Bob says our local Chinese place puts up a big banner that says open on Christmas every year. Hell yes.
Heathens. Ours was good. All my family was absolutely dog sick, though, so we didn't end up seeing anybody on Christmas Day like we normally do. Because they caught that flu that's going around.
Lovely.
And I just had one of my kids in for a kidney ultrasound a couple days ago. Nothing bad. This lady drags her kid in, this like 1.5-year-old, says he's got a fever, blah 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 blah. I didn't overhear all of it, but I overheard that the older brother's in the hospital with bacteria and pneumonia. I was just like, stay away.
Oh jeez.
Get away from me. You stay over there.
Like, was that pepper spray? No, that's Lysol.
He takes the bottle of hand sanitizer off the wall and he's just like squirting. Get away! Get away!
I mean, super soaker full of stuff.
Yeah.
You can
Super
water it down with a
sanitizer.
little bit. You can water it down with a little. Actually, no, just straight isopropyl alcohol. Aim for the eyes.
Should it be super sanitizer or sanitizer soaker?
Super sanitizer soaker.
ESS.
Super sanitizer soaker expialidocious.
Yeah.
Y'all get anything fun for Christmas?
No. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Wait a
Yeah.
minute. He's like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, I forgot.
Yeah. My mom pitched towards the Ace XR VR thing. I already had the VR headset, so she just helped me buy the
He knows what that is.
handset gun. So
Is it porn?
it is porn. It's basically so if you have a VR headset like a Quest 2, Quest 3, something like that, Ace XR is a VR platform. It's a VR training simulator. I won't even call it a game, but you basically get to go in and you get to shoot a whole bunch of USPSA stages. They have 3 different guns that you can use. They all come with optics on them. I'm waiting for Gideon Optics to get in there so I can put an Omega on my SIG 365. But yeah, it's really cool. You can play with friends, and then the chat feature works, but it doesn't work. So you get friends in there, and their mouths are moving, but you can't hear anything. So that's pretty cool.
You should put the granite on your 365 so your optic is wider than your firearm.
Dude, that is
It's
and it
nice.
weighs more also.
Like, oh my god.
That's when you take optics for granted.
Nope.
We're
It
just
was
gonna
a
let
nice,
that
it was a
one be.
nice month, wasn't it?
You
It
don't-
was a good month.
Well, there's the remove button. Bye.
Oh, good. I go to bed.
I got a little what is the brand? It's a little knife. It's a little skinning knife. Well, it's not a skinning particular knife, but it's called a sharp finger. What's the brand name on that one? Old Timer sharp finger, I think. I was really hoping, yeah, Old Timer sharp finger, and it's not the cheap Chinese made one. It's the one that's made in America. And I should
that-
brought it down with me, but it is a super little fucking sharp. Got a nice swept back tip on it, and I want to skin something with it. I was really hoping to skin a bobcat out with it this week, but I haven't caught any bobcats yet.
I have an old timer.
Do you?
I found it in the tractor tire of my mowing tractor.
Oh,
Yeah. I was like, oh, hey, that's a knife in my tire. I just kept seeing this little glint of shiny as I'm mowing along, and I finally decided to stop. And sure shit, old timer.
Nice.
Yeah.
my only concern was I'm not sure. I'm curious to see if it'll make it through a beaver without having to be resharpened. Because I burn through a lot
Same.
of the outdoor edge blades skinning out, and it's not like it's skinning out a whole lot. It's a damn beaver, but they're so gristly or whatever you want to say that it's like new blade. You remember skinning that one out a couple of years ago, Mike? We started with your little knife, and it's like, all right, that's dull. Next.
Yep. I couldn't believe it. I lost it. But yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Don't find it.
Yeah. It's on the floor somewhere. That's a lot of effort. Bob said he loves Vince's current jacket outfit situation. If he was here to announce his new rap album just dropped on Spotify, I'd believe it.
Ooh, then he said it's a German language rap album. I'm in for that crap.
Dude,
I don't like rap, but you know what rap I do like? Languages I don't understand, particularly Russian and anything else gruff.
du hast Vince.
I don't always listen to German music, but when I do, du hast. Du
Du
hast
hast
mich.
mich.
I hate all of you. All right, well, New Year's doesn't exist, so we're not going to talk about that.
Dave,
we
you get
are
anything
on
fun?
I got a laptop and some money and some treats. That was about it.
Nice.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Vince,
I got this mug.
it's a meat mug.
I wish I could
Yeah.
see it.
Got
Aw.
a burger on it.
So it kind of looks like a beer stein a little bit.
Oh.
And it's got all the creatures of Glipwood, which is a place in the series The Wingfeather Saga on Angel Studios. And it's got all the different little creatures that you see in the show on there. It's actually a children's show, a kind of high fantasy type drama going on, but it's actually
like-
quite a charming series.
Is it like the Redwall books?
Well, I'm not certain because I know there's not like talking rats in it,
Oh,
but yeah, it's What?
Are they rats of unusual size?
no, this is not the Princess Bride.
As you wish.
I forgot. I got a fucking a rotisserie for my Weber grill.
Oh,
And I can't wait to cook everything on it. I did a prime rib on that thing. And all it is, you know what a Weber kettle charcoal grill looks like? It's just a little kettle. And it's an extra 8-inch collar that sits in between the lid and the bottom of the grill. And it's a little motor you hang on the side and you shove your spit roast right through it. And it just sits there and goes, and it turns. My granddad had one for frickin' when my dad was a kid. And so every summer, every weekend, that thing was out there going, and so I guess my dad decided by himself wanted me one too. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I saw what you made on that, and
It was
Yeah,
good.
That looked phenomenal.
it was
Yeah,
also, I mean, I am a lazy cook. So if you can tell me I can cook a prime rib or anything else like that just by stabbing it down the center and throwing it out there with basically you bank the charcoal to one side and then just walking away for 2 hours, I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
one of the other things I got, so at my parents' house, I had a little package under the tree. Normally I don't get anything, but I open it up and there's this number in here, which is a little brass alarm clock about 2.5 inches wide. And this is something I picked up like 20 years ago at a thrift store just because I thought it looked cool. And apparently my brother had it stashed in his stuff somewhere and he gave it back to me. But it's actually a little wind-up clock and you wind it up and it was made in West Germany of all places, which is I think something I looked at and saw and I thought that was cool. But
So
didn't realize at the time that it was a post Second World War pre fall of the Iron Curtain little number. What?
You know, I can't get the
Sam
image out
looks
of my
angry.
head that
I'm not angry.
Vince is
I-
actually Jack from Hook, and he got that clock in Neverland when Hook showed him his like clock shop of dead clocks, and Jack was just smashing the crap out of clocks. And then secretly he was like, "Oh, this one's cool as fuck. I'm gonna take it. Hook will never know." And he like puts it in his back pocket, and here we are, like 30 years later, and it's Vince.
So I was gonna say West Germany, so you mean second best Germany, and then a really bad idea went through my head, and I'm not going to say third best Germany, and I'll leave that interpretation up to the audience.
Oh God.
See, that's why I didn't say it.
So anyway, Mike,
Imperial,
what you been up to?
motherfucker. Imperial, what do you think? What's wrong with you?
So one might ask, Mike, where the fuck were you? Well, I'm sure the dude's told you my computer broke down and something.
Never mind,
about
don't
my
care. We
cat.
said you were at a furry convention.
Yeah, I was something about a furry convention with broken. I don't know, whatever. So about a month ago, November 27th,
Wait.
I was playing.
Wait. Are you
What?
moving into Gear Chat or
No.
your show notes?
No, I'm just saying where the fuck I was real quick.
Oh, okay.
He's
okay.
explaining why he still had LimeWire on his laptop.
That's
Correct.
fine.
Yeah. So LimeWire got onto my laptop and it shut
Got
down.
on.
It shorted out both drives. Yeah, I don't know what the kid was doing, man.
It said I had to
Oh, yeah.
download the application to watch the video.
So the computer shorted out. It needed new drives. It needed new. I had to replace the keyboard because I'd been having problems with it. So it was like literally. I was in the middle of a World of Warships game, and no, it wasn't sticky, dickhead. is what rags are for.
I didn't
And
say nothing about that, sir.
I was playing World of Warships and it just shut down. And every time I turned it back on, it wouldn't like stay booted.
You
I'd get a
poor
blue
thing.
screen of death. So it's like, fuck.
Did you lose your game? Did you
Oh,
get
yeah.
sunk?
Were you
Dude,
writhing in terror in the
when I
corner
got
of
my
your living room?
laptop back, I had an unsporting penalty because I left my allies in battle like a month ago. And I was like, well, that's rude. So, as I'm stewing over that, 3 hours later, the kitten scared my cat Pumpkin off of a chair and he fell down and broke his leg. And we had to take him to the vet and we had to return without him. So, yeah, that was a really, really good day. I'll always remember that as the day my laptop and my cat died. But I try to keep a good sense of humor about it.
Are these two events connected?
No, not at all.
I
He
was
was-
waiting to hear that the cat fell on the laptop.
It
'Cause
would
this
have
is
been.
a little like
What if the
9/11
laptop fell,
this is a
fell on
little
the
like
cat?
9/11 Building 7 here. Like you're saying they're not connected, or they are, but they happen the same. I'm just saying.
So apparently, solo cremation is a thing. People will pay extra to have because the ovens are so big. You can put multiple pets in there and like partition them off and separate out the ashes. And some people want to pay extra apparently. And I looked at the lady when she was trying to explain this to me. So this poor little 18-year-old who barely has any experience dealing with people who have to experience this. And I looked at her and I was like, people will pay more to burn their pets alone. And she's like, yeah. And I was like, so I could pay more and Pumpkin could burn alone, or he could burn with friends. I think he'd like to burn with friends. And she got this shocked little look on her face and then she started laughing and I was like, yeah. Like,
So like you
yeah,
take the wheat berries to the mill and you get out a certain amount. You don't get yours back.
God damn.
Give a little of everybody.
I just want the ones marked M.
Cat was Mike.
Mike's still here, cat not. Daijobu.
No,
So
that's-
yeah,
I thought the cat's
it-
name was Mike.
no, Mike's name was Cat.
Is
This
that
is
why you
getting
have
very.
the-
So anyway, what else have I been up to? I did a lot of duck hunting. I didn't get a lot of ducks, but I did a lot of duck hunting. I took
You
a
did lot
chicken
of
store.
paddling.
Yes, I did do a lot of paddling. I paddled about 20 miles over the course of, which isn't great, but it's not bad. Took a chicken store friend hunting the weekend before my laptop died. We got a few buffalo heads out there. We had a blast, but the ice was so thick that was the last time going to 11 Mile.
They're ice fishing up there now.
Yeah.
I can just imagine. The scene in Benchwarmers where he walks. That one guy walks out of the shadow into the sun, all scared because he's scared of the sun. I feel like that's what Mike was after his laptop died. He just
Like-
runs back inside and chugs sunscreen.
and Mountain
get-
Dew.
Code Red though.
God.
I love that scene in Zombieland when the girl like gets into his apartment and he's like he offers her a drink and he gives her Code Red. Anyway, I went to Pueblo a couple times to hunt the lake there, and that was mostly a big failure. Walked along the Arkansas River looking for places to decoy, looking to jump ducks. There was nothing there. Went and drove around the perimeter of the lake, found some birds that looked like ducks, put the boat in the water, started chasing them, and I'm looking in my monocle, and I'm like, dude, I don't know what these are. So I paddled up as close as they would let me, and they let me get real close. So I sent pictures to the squeezer, and between the two of us, he was like, well, at first he was like, not a duck, don't shoot it. And I was like, don't worry, I'm admiring it more
You're
than
like, but I thought this one was free.
No, that was
It-
But I thought this one was free.
It's my free duck. It has 3-inch talons and a big blue bill. What did you shoot? Anyway, it turns out they were loons.
What the
What's a
hell's a
loon?
loon?
Oh, you don't know it? Okay.
I mean, I might, but
Loon.
you got to explain it more than that.
I thought
E-tune?
loons were more.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
A loon is a type of
It
waterfowl.
was Daffy
It's
Duck.
similar to a grebe, but it
The
it's
fuck
more-
is a grebe?
It's a grievance. It's a festivus. It's the airing of grievances.
Grievance.
I've made a grievous error.
Speak English, you commie.
All right, so the common loon is a type of waterfowl that's really, really common in the northern parts of the country and southern Canada. They migrate south with other waterfowl, but I have not seen them this far south. Granted, this is my first year or second year waterfowl hunting. They are notorious. They're the black and white birds that are notorious for that. Okay, I'm a little sick, so I can't make it. Sam, find a website and screen share.
No, that would be hard. Besides, your sound was perfect. You should make it again so I can record it.
He doesn't want to trash his laptop too.
Yeah, laptop dies again.
That's how.
Jurassic-
Yeah, he's over there googling common loon sounds.
Just go to Jurassic Park 1, hour 1 minute 18. That's the sound. It's a velociraptor.
All right. Now, when you're going to be like, wow, Mike got this dead on. It was perfect. Share screen. Share screen. Common loon calling. Share. And
Fascinating.
Shit. My bad.
Oh, it's
There we
gone.
go.
And it-
That sounds nothing like Porky Pig.
so they
yeah,
they
that
have
sounds like Brontosaurus.
All that's missing is a banjo.
right. Like they have loon sounds and all sorts of stuff, and you've probably heard them before, but you're like, I don't know what that is. So I saw 3 of those birds at Pueblo. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Did you shoot him?
I saw 3 of those birds at Pueblo.
Could you have shot them?
Oh yeah, easily.
And if there's a common loon, common, that suggests there's an uncommon loon.
Indeed.
There
Also
could
suggests
be.
that
That is
there
the
is a-
species name, though.
There is
Being-
a hipster loon.
There were loons before it was cool.
There's an uncommon loon brewing company. Where are they at? Oh, they're in Minnesota.
I
Of
bet
course.
you it's an IPA that tastes like butthole.
I bet you it is. Let's get to go to the menu. Speckled loon.
If anybody
gross.
would know, it's Bob. Bob.
Now
likes
their
IPAs.
speckled loon is a cream ale.
That actually sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I'd try that.
Their
Yeah.
IPA is a shapeshifter or the hook setter IPA. Oh, you don't get more freaking bougie than a fly fishing themed IPA. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
I am blue collar bougie. I will drink my Keystone out of a Yeti koozie. But that's about it. It's like, yeah, I will definitely buy a $40 koozie. I'm going to stick a 60-cent beer in it, but
That sounds like that's like leveling up the starter weapon in zombies on Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Hang on. Somebody wants to know what the alcohol content of that is. Somebody talk. I think it was like
9.2.
5.2.
Oh,
5.2? Nah, that's not even worth drinking.
I did. I actually did take Ella. I looked at her and I was like, "Hey, you want to go road hunting?" And she was like, "Sure." So we went up and we road hunted the river, and I
shut the
managed.
interstate.
So this brings me back because it's been so long that I completely forgot, and I took the Advocate off of my shotgun, and Bobbert sent me a Mediator, and I put that on there, and the Mediator has been a much better shotgun optic. Love the Advocate, but it. Okay, so I just got back from pheasant hunting. I'll talk about that in a minute. But Garth had an Advocate on his AR shotgun, and he was blasting clay pigeons with it, and I was like, "That's pretty cool." But yeah, I love the Advocate. I just
right up to his eyeball.
so
That's
he had
cool.
it. Garth had it on the reverse mounted that it comes with, and it was. I mean, it's more of an AR optic anyway. I think than a my there was nothing wrong with the optic itself except for it was my shotgun's rail was too far forward and I was getting some of the prism in
That's most
edges.
shotgun rails, but yeah. Anyway,
So yeah, anyway, the Mediator's much better. It gives me a better field of view, and I love the reticle a lot more. And I've already killed multiple ducks with it. So I went road hunting with Bugs, and we didn't see much. There wasn't anything in the river, but I did.
Are you
was
sure
like,
we
"All
didn't
right."
already hear this story?
Yeah, I'm because I haven't talked about the
he
Mediator.
told us
since
an
I-
exhaustive detail via the chat.
Oh no,
Yeah,
Sam and
exactly.
Dave told it on air.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Oh,
We went through your
yeah.
show notes already. My bad.
We
Oh,
did
well.
it caveman style though, like we skipped every other word.
Oh, road hunt.
Went road
bird.
hunt, killed bird, new optic.
You guys are fucking.
I forgot about that. That was great.
What the fuck else were we supposed to do, Mike? It was me and Sam.
Hey, we did a really good job.
We gave away an optic that night, or a coupon code for an optic.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
road.
that was pretty cool.
Who last I heard is still waiting for the green dots to come in or something. I don't know. As soon as he won that, he started messaging me like, "Hey man, what should I get?" It's like, I don't know. Get what you want. Don't put that kind of evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, dude, you should don't put that on me, but also get something cool.
Get one for each eye.
What is what? I don't even know what Roden does. Roden, I forget if he
He's a
does long
He's
range
a
stuff.
jeweler
He does
I
and
know,
long
but-
range.
Gideon's got a 5-25 coming out at the end of at the end of January, probably. So
At the end of
Yes, I've been waiting on
Fucking
that.
Dibs. Fuck you, dibs.
2
Yeah,
to 12, 3 to 18. I'm done with the 5 to 12. I'm done with the 5 to 25 life. Although I will murder one if you pay me.
I am into an MPVO, but also a long range.
if I lived where there was many different
LRPVO?
kinds of dogs to shoot, like prairie dogs, end of Jewelry.
LPVO, MPVO, LRPVO.
Anyway,
Oh,
if I lived where there was a
LMAO.
bunch of prairie dogs, I'd be into the 5 to 25. But I do think I'm on the Sam side of that.
I definitely want one. I've been waiting for him.
I mean,
You
I'd
want-
mess
you-
with it.
You, Mike, want to stack like 2 of them so that you can get even more zoom.
Yeah, if I put a 5x25 behind a 5x25, can I get a 25 by
25. So at that point, you're at like
a
math.
120? Dude, that's too many numbers.
You're at
Anyway.
625 power. You put a 3x prism behind that, and like, son, you're golden.
So anyway, Ella and I drove up and down the river, and almost at the end of I looked over and I was like, "That's a fucking hen," and
It was
that's a
chicken.
parking spot. So I literally saw the hen. There was a tree. I drove past the tree, parked in an actual parking spot. The hen's still over here, and I got out and I walked over and shot the hen. And I was like, "That's a pretty handy little parking spot." And then going down to get it, I fell in the river like a dumbass. Once I dragged myself out, I walked 25 yards down the river, crossed in ankle deep water, went up and got my bird. And we went home because I had inches of water in the bottom of my waders, and I felt really stupid. Anyway, that was fun. But I did shoot that with the Mediator.
Slingshot.
So,
I abandoned my guardian in the frozen creek today, so
oh, is it still sitting up there?
yeah. It was hard. It was hard to figure out a spot to put it where I was not worried about it disappearing, like under the ice or down the stream or something. I'm a little paranoid. It's fine.
It'll be fine. Frozen in snow.
It'll be like Ötzi the Iceman. It's found in like 6,000 years.
Its last meal
Was beaver, apparently.
they'll be analyzing the damage done to it. Like, we believe when this optic was killed, some idiot was swinging it on a rope. I mean, that's true.
And dude, archaeologists, if we lose any digital record of our history, archaeologists in thousands of years are going to be like, what the fuck were any of our things? Except maybe a phone. If they can power on a phone and flip through the pictures in anybody's phone, they'll be like,
no, they'll power on the phone, flip the pictures and go, oh, that's why these people died off. Next.
Jesus.
Anyway, I'll break in for a moment. I have been
while Mike does a L'Oreal commercial.
Yeah, while he fluffs his hair. Starting on Monday. Was it Monday? Yeah, I was supposed to be on Sunday, but then stuff happened. I have been trying to trap a bobcat. And that's
how'd that go?
I mean, so far not so good. Haven't caught anything yet.
Did it consist of you going out there with a catnip toy and going, here, kitty, kitty?
Almost.
Remember, do the at your own risk.
Tell the bobcat I said before you kill it.
Everyone says cats are cats. So I did throw some feathery stuff in the back of the traps too, just to give it a little extra. Because I mean, cats love feathers. I don't know. But I have run into a significant problem. I only have 2 traps out right now because he's over there giggling for no reason.
I'm giggling at Bob.
No. My high dollar guillotine door Z traps. Yeah, both of them have a broken door right now. I am pissed. For some reason, the channels, the door runs down. On both traps, one side is just the welds broken open. So the door falls out, which is really handy for trapping, I'll say.
I have welder can fix.
I'm planning on it. One of them I could wire back together. The other one is a little iffy, so I got to work on it later.
Zip ties.
I'm sure, why not? I don't have any zip ties with me though. Anyway, I can say that predator bait and bobcat lure, gland lure smell like ass and death and skunk. Ugh, nasty.
Skunky.
Yeah, cats are into some weird shit.
Huh?
Cats are into some weird shit.
Well, the gland lure just smells like piss and musk and just like fucking just ugh. But the bait, so the gland lure looks like this oily black crap in a little jar. The bait looks like, from the outside, it looks like corned beef. On the inside, it smells like rot and skunk. Anyway,
What? Damn it, Vince.
I wonder. How do you think a bobcat would react to like just off the shelf catnip?
From what I understand, catnip is catnip and cats are cats.
That's what I've been reading here. Cats are cats. That's why they got a feathery cat toy in the back of them. That's also why a primary lure that a lot of people use are things like mirrors or even CDs blowing the wind to get the flashy stuff going and make a cat go, ooh, what's that?
I watched a tiger at the zoo just pounce repeatedly on a giant puck of ice. And I was like, cats are going to cat.
Oh, dude, there's no sign at the zoo that says no laser pointers.
Dude, I'm taking a fucking laser. Or I'm at least reflecting the sun off of my phone into the enclosure.
Let me rephrase that. There's no sign that says no laser pointers yet.
It'll be the VDSM Act.
How do you
no
put
laser pointers
on comments up on banner?
How do you put comments up? You mean this one?
Yeah.
You ever stuck some D for a scope? Bob Saget or Mike? Probably.
No, you ain't addicted.
So anyway, I took my daughter up there. We threw in the first one on Monday, brushed it in real well. Um, cotton balls. You take the cotton ball, you wrap it in some really fine, like craft wire, copper wire, and you sit there and you get some of the freaking gland lure on there. What I didn't do on the first trap, which hopefully, if I catch one in there, it doesn't bite me in the ass, is you're supposed to hang all the smelly shit on the outside of the back so that the cats don't roll in it. Because if a cat rolls in the gland lure or the bait, that's going to be terrible to skin that thing out. Ugh.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's going to be nasty. Nasty.
So, you know how it says in the regs that you're supposed to kill them immediately upon discovery?
Can I
if
take him to
you-
the car wash first?
Throw it in the bed of the truck and just run through.
The automatic one.
I was
Brush it
thinking
off.
I was just thinking if you took a video of it going pss, 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 pss before you shot it, does that count as immediately enough?
I'm not pushing it. I'm not pushing it.
I
Go.
oh, just don't post that.
Pss, pss,
Internal
pss,
viewing
pss,
only.
Send that to us. Just don't post that.
If you want to see that, let us know. We'll let you into the private chat.
Fish Squeezer
No.
wants to see this.
No. Um,
I am new friend Hefe. Please let's see video.
Mi nombre es Jefe González.
My
Please
name's
to send
Jeff.
Video.
anyway, so throw the first one out. Also hung the lure and a little bit of the bait smell up like in the tops of the willows to help the scent carry farther. Didn't set it very far. I mean, set it legally far from the road. More than that. Didn't set it terribly far because I had my daughter with me. Don't want to go make her walk a mile out in the woods yet. But checked that one yesterday. Didn't see anything. Went to go set a different trap a little farther along down the creek, and somebody, did I mention over the summer I saw some lady out there with like 10 dogs
Yeah.
who didn't see me? She walked like 30 yards in front of me, like sitting next to a tree, and she didn't see me, and neither did the dogs. And I was like, am I invisible?
Hopefully.
She may still be there because there are so many dog tracks up and down and up and down, like the little game trail where I was going to set the trap, that I decided it was a bad idea. Because the last thing I needed to do was catch some lady's Pomeranian in a cage trap. It'd be worse if it was a conibear. But-
Kill immediately. So that's the rules.
The Pomeranian.
Yeah, well, it's not a game species, so
Exactly. You ain't gotta fucking report it or nothing. There's no Pomeranian seal that you have to get.
so
So
we
it
didn't
was
set
coming
one,
right for us.
we didn't set one down there. I did find it was old, but I was a little happy because I found like that looks like bobcat shit, and I looked up a picture, and sure enough, it's like all pinched off at the end, like they don't quite get it all out before they pinch. So that's a good sign, kind of. At least a bobcat lives in there somewhere. Also found for the springtime 2 currently alive beaver colonies. One of them actually built a proper lodge in the middle of a pond for once instead of a bank den. So that'll be exciting.
Did you find any entrances or exits in the water?
All frozen solid right now.
So what do they do? Just hang out in their lodges until it thaws?
Well, yeah, they hang out in there, and then they chew down willows. All right, so if the pond is deep enough that they can get to willows just still in the ground, they'll go munch on those. Otherwise, what they do too is in the fall they'll cut down a bunch of willows and just float them in the water, and when it freezes, they can get to it from underneath. So lessons I did not know. Was it 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, lessons I didn't know 2 years ago, that if you see a bunch of willows cut down and then just frozen in the middle of a pond, that's a really good indication that they were live at least a couple months ago.
What is like? What do you call a male beaver? Is it a buck?
I think so.
A boar?
That's not a
tooth, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever actually seen like male and female names for a beaver necessarily.
I can see like Tom and Queen, like cats, because they're a colony.
A female name for a beaver is a beaver.
True.
Yeah,
No.
I don't think I've ever seen differentiated like buck or doe name on them. It's just furry rodent.
From henceforth, they shall be known as buck and doe.
There you go.
Well, I
then
mean,
say, check
it's got to
on-
be Buck because the one guy is Bucky's.
True. You ever seen the ISIS flags that have Bucky's head instead of the little white symbol in the middle?
Yes.
They're kind of funny. I'm not entertained enough to buy one, but they
I
make me
hate
giggle.
that beaver.
We got a Bucky's in I didn't get to talk about it because computer died, but we went to Thanksgiving for my sisters in Windsor or wherever, like up north Colorado somewhere. I don't remember exactly what town she lives in. Yeah, so we stopped at Bucky's on the way home and bought a bunch of Bucky snacks.
I hate Bucky's actually.
They had some great
even
stuff.
Seen one.
That it's
Bigger than your town.
It's consumerism run amok.
It is.
They're building
It
one
is.
on the north end of the spring soon.
It's consumerism run amok with a Texas level ego.
Yeah.
Every time I hear about Bucky's, I just hear 108 fueling stations, and that gets me mid chub.
Look,
The one thing I will say about the Bucky's I've been in, the bathroom is correct.
there's a 108 gas pumps. Fuck that. There's 108 stalls in the bathroom, and they are all clean.
They're clean and they're actually private.
Yeah, they go all the
Yeah,
way to the
the
floor.
floor to
That's
war-
the benefit.
floor to
That's the
ceiling.
one good thing about Bucky's.
There's dividers in between the urinals, so no peeking. And they have every energy drink ever made
Yeah.
sitting over there in the cooler. Like, if you have a favorite flavor of something, it's there. They have all.
The wall of candy.
Okay.
I love the wall of candy. I love the wall of spices and sauces and stuff. I really want to try like all the spices, all the sauces, but I don't do enough meat to justify stacking a basket full of stupid consumerism sauces.
I'm still just annoyed at driving through Texas in August of 21 and seeing these strange signs with suggestive marketing on them about a beaver and wondering what in the hell is this thing, and finding out eventually that it's a gas station and just being mad about this freaking beaver. And I still have not forgiven Bucky's for that. Like,
It's
I don't
personal.
like it. I avoid it if I can, but
Show me on the doll where the gas station touched you.
exactly.
Fun for the whole family, and Vince took offense to that.
No está bien, señor.
Oh man. Anyway, to round my stuff out real quick because it doesn't go too much farther. Checked the same trap this morning, nothing going on there. So then wandered on down to go set another. Ended up spending way too much time wandering up and down the creek, but found a fucking massive pond that had a big ass lodge on it, and a tertiary pond of that lodge had a little bank den on it. Both had feed piles in the water. I'm hoping both of them have beavers in them, because come springtime, it's gonna be dead beavers all over the place.
I was telling you in Signal chat, and I was talking about it at work today, but you know, I've spoken of it over the course of the year, being in the gym once a week, and just because of that, I'm such better shape for this year, and so that when we go get beavers, like I'll be the one hauling the 65-pound beaver on my back, and you'll be the one being like, "Man,
I'll carry your beaver for you."
don't eat my beaver for me, though.
Oh, I'll do that.
That's for me to do."
You still have beaver in your freezer, Mike.
Liver, nonetheless.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it!
I ate
You
liver
may-
with fava beans.
And a nice candy.
Dude, I was about to save the bunny's liver for you, and I was like, no, that motherfucker can get bunnies any goddamn day he wants.
The
Correct.
liver's probably like this big. It'd be like a peanut M&M.
Yeah, perfect for Dave.
snack.
Like little small snack.
Yeah, you guys can have your fucking yippee popcorn. I might have rabbit liver.
His little
Fuck.
livy treats.
Nice.
It pops in the air fryer.
Yeah, I set out one more trap, found out the door, and the other one was busted too. Didn't have the wire to wire it back together. So, yeah, we'll just keep an eyeball on those, see how it goes.
Are you going to set up one of your trail camps on some of those sometime?
I don't have trail cam sign.
Oh, I thought you did.
Yeah,
Oh,
We talked about it, but none of us ever
we
got
talked
it.
about it, but yeah, we never actually got. I never got around to it.
okay.
They're expensive, and money went
I-
other places.
So here's the thing: I don't expect it all to be even remotely successful this trip out. This is just to get the practice in setting them. What I really am waiting for is a little light dusting of snow, so I can go up there and walk the whole creek up and down and look for fresh tracks, and then work from there. Because the problem is right now the ground's all frozen, so you don't get any tracks in the mud, and the snow has been up there for so long that any tracks that have been put in it have, it'll be it could be a cat print to start with, but it's thawed and frozen so many times it's the size of a cow hoof. So like they can't tell where anything's at up there hardly. So
Yeah.
for right now it's for the exercise and for the fun. Anyway,
It occurs to me going back to when you first started beaver hunting and you were going through these same growing pains, learning the animals, learning the signs, learning what was working, learning what wasn't.
I can't.
I'm actually not going to be surprised if we go up there 8 months from now and you just shoot one. Oh,
I thought about that. What's if we get towards the end of February and nothing's happening? We can call one. We could go walk into the CPW office and sign for that night hunting permit and go out there and call on Spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
that could be fun.
It could be. I might actually do it before the end of February. It's like, I like that idea. We also probably should get the mountain lion permit stuff lined up too, just in case we call in a bigger cat. Whoops.
Well,
Oh, shit.
you can't hunt mountain lion at night.
Oh, well, in that case, we better fucking make sure we know what we're shooting at.
Yeah.
However,
That or
mountain lion
both gonna have
suffers
to.
from no such compulsions about you.
I was about to say, Mike, if the worst comes to worst, we're gonna both have to buck up and take a turn getting clawed, and then we can shoot it.
Oh,
Look, see my defensive wounds?
On the hands.
Like you shot too early. Like Mike cut me.
Feel a little woozy here, man.
No, CPW shows up and I'm just laying underneath the cat like, he
Help.
saved my life.
All right, that's it.
Well,
All right.
I did
That's all for
other
seeing.
stuff.
Well, hold on before you get there. I got a couple of. I haven't done a whole lot. I've been sitting out behind the house waiting to see if something wanders by, but a lot of the cover's gone, so I'm looking. Not a lot of stuff wandering back through there in the daylight. Plus, the dogs like to chase stuff off. So I'm looking forward to the run and gun coming up in January. I've got another one of those, and so apparently I asked for this, but Bob sent over a mediator, which I have here mounted in the 45-degree offset on my my main rifle, and I think I'm gonna run that on my rifle during the run and gun this time around. I'm not sure yet because I also have the Guardian, and I thought about running the Guardian and the Rock in an offset red dot because I do have another mount that I can put with that. But I actually already ordered a 12 o'clock mount for this because this is the Badger C1 mount that you can put. You can put a 45-degree offset, or you can get a top mount. And you can put red dots on the top of the scope rings. So running at 12 o'clock, it's like you put it on top of the scope and you can run it there at a much higher point, so you can get it above night vision or thermal, because I do have a mount on here for my thermal. But I think I'm going to run that on there. Either that, I'm going to run the Guardian. But right now, the Guardian. So today I was messing around with it, and my scope on my crossbow had been fogging up really bad. And it wouldn't unfog. So normally you go from inside to outside or outside to inside, just temperature differentials, and the outside lens on your scope will probably fog up. But it should clear after the material comes into, just the same temperature as the surrounding environment, but the scope was staying fogged, which is a problem. So I was like, hey, I can take that 1 to 10 Guardian and put it on my crossbow, which begs a question, or it introduces a number of problems, because the crossbow is different than much different than a working up ballistics on a firearm. It's moving much slower, and you don't have like BCs that you can just punch in the numbers and see exactly, what the drop is supposed to be. So I spent a while trying to figure out what the correct drop would be in minute of angle for a crossbow bolt, so that I can make it match up with the reticle on the Guardian. And I ended up finding, let me see if I have it here. What's it called? I found a ballistic calculator. It's no, that ain't it. Hold on. It's on my other computer. It's called Red Hot ADC, which is an application that apparently does not have any viruses in it, that you can put in different values and it'll show you the drop in inches. And I couldn't find anything that would take the drop in inches of the bolt and change it to minute of angle at a given distance. So I just calculated all of them in 5-yard increments. And then I had a different thought, like, hey, what if I just take the scope, which is calibrated to the crossbow bolt weight and velocity for this crossbow, which it was because it came with the package, and what if I just set it there and then take the second focal plane scope and turn it up and down and see when the reticle lines up with the reticle and the crossbow scope. And so that's kind of what I ended up doing, and then checking it against the numbers that I calculated. And I ended up finding that the Guardian, I can't get it down. So if I zero at 25 yards at the top of the little chevron in the Guardian reticle, that's what I meant to do. I meant to get a picture so that y'all could throw it up on screen. So there's a chevron and then a BDC. And if you zero at the very tip of the chevron at 25, the tip of the BDC will be at 35, and then the lines will be at 40, 50, and 60 at 3 power. Because with a second focal plane, of course, as you turn the power down, you're actually making the reticle larger in comparison to what you're looking at. So if you have a hold on there that is, say, 11 minute of angle at max power, that hold will be 22 minute of angle at 5 power, because you have the magnification. You're also doubling the subtension in the reticle. And so it just so happens, like at 3 power, the Guardian second focal plane works pretty well with my bolts and the velocity that I'm getting out of my crossbow. I actually shot it out to, did I shoot it? I shot it out to 50 yards. And I sent the guys a picture. I shot it at 40 and then made a windage adjustment and then shot it at 50, and it was dead on. Yeah, Sam's got the reticle up on screen. So it's got the tip of the chevron up there, and then there's a bar underneath it that has hash marks on it. And the very tip of the bar is 35 yards, and then the first hash mark is 40, second is 50, and then looking at the minute of angle that I calculated, the last hash mark should be right at 60 yards.
That's pretty phenomenal that works out that way.
I mean, you could technically, it's because you have just a zoom ring, it's infinitely variable. So you can kind of make it line up the way you want it to. Like you could make it 0 at pretty much any distance that's reasonable to make the subtensions work out the way you want it. It just so happened that if I wanted to, and I used to 0 at 35, but I had problems with shooting high when stuff was closer.
Yeah.
So I changed it to 25, and then it just works out pretty well that way. So I'm actually pretty pleased with it here. I think I can. It is a little bit high. It's a little high with the AR mount on there because the cross.
That's to beat the funky town.
You need some low scope rings, my man.
I do, but what am I going to get? A half an inch? What are
More
you willing to
cheek
give up
razor.
for half an inch? I mean, come on.
Man,
So
if I could
that's-
double.
I'm actually pretty excited about that because I was sitting out there this evening and I could actually see way, way better at last legal shooting light than I have been able to ever with the scope that came on it. Like 5 to 10 minutes before last legal light, and I was unable to see anything around like my target area, even at 35 yards. And I was able to see actually after I was looking through it after legal shooting light, and I was like, I can still see. This is so cool. So
I can poach now. Sweet.
if thermal, I can poach all I want.
Oh yeah, little fancy pants over here.
Keyword is can, not will.
Can.
I know my brother's just going.
He's like,
He's in Oklahoma. He's not your brother's problem.
Vince is like, you have no power here.
Vince, your beard's going a little gray. You got a touch of Saruman in you.
Ceremone? Is that like pheromones?
You want some?
Saruman.
Oh,
You have no power here.
Fish squeezer the gray.
hey,
Writing
Christopher
that
Lee
down.
is the coolest person in that series. Just saying.
That's not incorrect. I'll give you that.
All right, Mike, continue on because you've got like 40 things you need to get through.
All right. Well, I do want to go a little more detailed. So the Advocate, I love the Advocate as an optic, but again, I mentioned being able to see the prisms because it was so far forward on the shotgun. So the Mediator has a bunch more advantages. It's much lower, so my line of sight is lower on the bore, and I can get a better cheek weld on the shotgun, and I can shoot a little bit more accurately. Being that it's enclosed, water won't get on the emitter. That being said, water does get on the lenses, and it can get in the way. And I did find one interesting thing with the Mediator. I took it out duck hunting, of course, and I shot a Drake Mallard, and I was aiming at a second one. The second one flew off right behind the sun, or put himself between the sun and me. And as soon as the sun went down the Mediator optic, it just completely washed out to the front of the lens. And I was like, oh, that's a neat feature. Not the optics fault. I looked directly into the sun,
yeah.
Whoops.
but I was like, I went from having a great sight picture to nothing and sun, and I was like,
Can
But
I get
again-
an RMA, please?
The only issue I've noticed, like with anything with that to do with the sun on my end, is not keeping up with adjusting the brightness as the sun comes up. I ran into that a couple times in Texas, going, that's good, and then half an hour later, oh shit, can't see, man. There we go.
Bob says
Reticle. Okay.
Bob
go
said
ahead.
lots of dudes use the Advocate pretty far down. He doesn't like to if he can't mount it under 5 inches. And I think I'd agree with that. It's too far down on the shotgun. If I could get it backwards, like right in front of my eye, it'd work a lot better. But that's a big solution when
He
you
also
could just
says-
use the
He also says
Mediator
the first
or
thing
an
in the
Omega.
manuals and not look at the sun.
I did read that. It's pretty high
Oh.
up there.
Listen
So what
here, Bob.
reticle? What reticle
This-
do you like to use with the mediator?
I like circle dot.
You like circle dot? Okay.
I like so far circle dot has worked really well for birds, a lot better than the circle on the advocate because it's a much more clustered circle.
Yeah.
It's more natural for the eye to put the dot on the head of the bird or move it just to lead a little bit and use the circle. I'm still playing with it.
Just looking through the mediator so far, it is it's a small enclosed red dot, so you do have kind of a small window. But it's still, I mean, if you're not expecting to look through it and see things, it's perfectly fine. I think for rifle use, I'm just going to use the single red dot, but I could see how the circle would be really useful for shotgun, especially the circle without the red dot in the middle. Especially if you're using that for like a defensive shotgun.
Yeah,
that seems really useful. But it also does, I did notice it does benefit getting it closer to your eye. Getting it as close to your eye as possible makes I noticed that it's weird. I expected getting it further away from the eye would make the reticle seem smaller, but it's like the reticle stays the same size no matter how far away from your eye it gets. So it takes up more of that window. And I don't know if that's something normal with that type of red dot with a reticle in it, because I've never actually had a red dot with a reticle.
Well, that makes sense because of the way that lenses and vision and everything work. If you have your prism this certain distance away and your eye's over here, your eye can see through the prism a certain cone on the other side. But if you bring it closer to your eye, then the angles increase and you can see a bigger cone on the other side of it, but you still have the dot in the middle.
Now,
so that makes perfect sense.
If you threw a magnifier behind that, would it do EOTech things where
Probably.
the reticles stay the same size?
No, because it's not a holographic laser, it's a dot.
Wait,
That's my understanding.
If you put
the EOTech thing doesn't really stay the same size anyway. It gets a little bigger, but it's hard to notice. Yeah.
I mean, if you put the magnifier behind the optic, the reticle is the same size compared to whatever's on the other side of it.
Mm-hmm.
You're magnifying both at the same rate. If you put the magnifier in front of the red dot, then it would be magnifying the target, but not magnifying the red dot.
First focal plane versus second focal plane.
Exactly. That's probably the 20th century way to describe that. Like, so you got a EOTech, right?
I love EOTechs.
That's like the early YouTube videos of how to. So
I
you
really
want
want
EOTech.
I want a magnifier I have 2 EOTech XPS2s. I want magnifiers. Anyway. Anyway.
Go down your show notes. You got a lot on there.
I really, dude, you replaced all my show notes with a bunch of Mike shit. I don't even remember what I was going to talk about.
It's all the same shit. It's just Mike specific.
2 weeks
First
ago,
off, theme
Duck
is
Hunt.
more Mike.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, Duck Hunt with Chicken Fried Mike recap. Sunday and Monday.
You see how that's confusing?
Theme is more Mike. Why? Because Mike.
I don't know why I'm the only one with a problem with this. It's
Sunday. Hey, the people need to hear this. Sunday theme was Mike and icebergs. Bugged out. Went road hunt. We didn't.
Down one.
We go down. The second set, looking back at Mike, should have gone after. Spotted one on my next loop. Parked, hunted Mike. Downed one. Shot second. Mike spotted. They were in a great spot to stalk Mike, but I gone and I mic'd that up. Monday theme. I was bored.
Hold on, I'll take it.
Oh, go.
Monday, the theme was I was bored, so I drove the river. Only found one set, and I gone and mic'd that up too. Lessons learned. That's why Mike does this. Recipes. Mike got asked about that a couple weeks ago. I said I'd go into it more and forgot. Let's not forget Mike here.
God damn it.
And then Mike's other show notes are secondhand Mike's. Mike's other show notes are No Country for Old Mike. And Mike's final show notes are Mike Goes to Washington.
So when you guys are listening to this on the downloaded podcast, make sure you actually look at the show notes. I know nobody ever does look at show notes, but you should actually look at them because these guys went to
Oh, there's
minimal
there's
effort
more.
for this.
There's
Oh,
more.
you have no idea, sir. It took us an hour.
So what happened was we actually had a pretty low energy show that night, but then afterwards we were all punch drunk and started like talking about Mike because he wasn't there, and then we decided we just randomly started editing all of the show notes and replaced most of the nouns with Mike and at least several of the verbs.
Mhm,
Hit a couple of adjectives.
mhm.
Very Mike-ish show notes. And then we waited for a month for him to show back up and see it, and now here we are.
Oh man.
This is just proof that good things come to those who wait.
Oh yeah. So, off the top of your head, what the hell were you doing in South Dakota?
Eh,
No notes for you tonight, boy.
So, I went to South Dakota with Duth and Garley, and
No. Darth and Ghoulie.
oh, Garth and Do. Wait, what? Darth and
Darth
Ghoulie. Oh, you're
and
right.
Ghoulie.
Darth and Ghoulie. You're right.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So I was in South Dakota with Darth and Ghoulie. Took my daughter up there to go
On
pheasant
the
hunting.
AR-15 podcast. Make sure
Yes.
you specify who they are.
Yes.
Party on, Darth.
with Mike and Mike from the AR-15 podcast.
The AR Mike team. Anyway,
You should have finished. It was right there.
He went up to Mike, Dakota to hang out with Mike and Mike from the AR Mike podcast.
Well, they went and hunted mics.
no, it's Mike and Ike from the Mike AR Mike pod. Anyway,
See,
moving
that
on.
doesn't make sense. It's Mike and Mike.
But you have to throw a random Ike in here somewhere. Like
Nope.
it begs it.
Nope.
I love that candy. So
God,
off the
you're
top
old.
of my head, yeah, I know, right?
Red Hots.
Shh, lemon heads.
Hot
So-
tamales or get the fuck out.
We do a decent pheasant hunt. We saw one bird. I had a shot on it, but I was like, it's a pheasant, cool. Instead, and other guys missed. So the dudes were like, "There's bunnies everywhere," and I'm like, "Bunnies?" So they were like, "Yeah, we could shoot one." And I was like, "Dude, I've always wanted to try eating bunny. Yeah, if you shoot one, I'll eat it." And he was like, "Okay, cool." So he shot one.
Wait, you had somebody else shoot it for you?
Oh, I'm not gonna hold back on that. Like, yeah, somebody else shot that bunny.
You pampered little boy.
Well, it was
Oh,
on his side of the trees. If it was on my side of the trees, I'd have shot it.
Garth, shoot that bunny for me.
His name
So
is
bring it
Ben.
here. I
yes,
must put it on my fingers and make it
That-
talk for the people.
That's funny. Over there. That's fine. No, not the little, the big one. Yes, good. Shoot it. Thank you.
That's a good
Now,
shot.
while you're at it,
Now,
skin that for me while I go drink my tea.
if you would fetch that for me,
Did you
Tip
post that
Tipterio.
picture? Now you have to post that picture of you using the bunny as a finger puppet. You got to
I-
roll that out in front of you like, here he is.
I had planned on it. I just haven't gotten to Instagram yet.
Did you keep the hide of that?
I haven't
small
skinned
rabbit?
it yet. I gutted it and I put it in a plastic bag and it's in my fridge. It's probably the best way to keep the meat without.
Don't feel bad. I have like 2 months worth of stuff that I need to put up on Instagram.
I thought you were going to say you had 2 months worth of food in your fridge that you haven't skinned and eaten yet, but then you went the Instagram route.
Now I've got 2 months worth of meat in my colon. Still needs to work its way out.
All right. Don't need to hear about that.
That's a shitty topic.
Ha
So after you had your manservant shoot the rabbit for you,
We continued our pampered pheasant hunt and did not find any further pheasants. There was a whole bunch of grouse. We wandered. We took the truck out into the pasture and drove around. Saw a whole bunch of grouse, but didn't get any shots.
When you say truck,
Dooley's pickup.
okay,
Mm.
good.
We took Dooley's pickup around the pasture with where the cows were at, and he was.
Did
like,
you did you draw down on those cows?
No, they just looked at me like I was not a threat, and I looked at them like, "Fuck you, cow."
You looked at them like they were a threat.
I looked at them like PTSD.
You're not a threat.
It's
While
okay.
you're-
Therapy fix this. Therapy fix this.
I had a cow stare at me for like 30 minutes this morning. I'm in my stand back in the trees, like 50 yards away. The neighbor's cow's at the fence just staring at me.
Chew
That's why you
cat.
didn't see anything.
Like, what is that?
The deer are coming along, and they see the cow looking at you, and they're like, "What's that motherfucker looking at? Is there something in the trees?"
It's the high-headed bitches that you got to worry about. That's it with cows, and you will know what I mean by high-headed when you see one.
Actually, one of them definitely dead-eyed me in the passenger seat.
I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees.
I know what you did to them cows down there at 11 Mile. God damn it!
You don't know shit, bitch. Shut up.
Yeah,
Um,
I know what you're talking about, Dave. Yep. I'm the
Yeah,
one
we
you
have
gotta
to-
watch for.
we had a good time. Ella had a good time. I didn't get any birds. All we got was the bunny. But we road hunted Saturday, and towards the end of the day, we saw about 36 birds right next to a private farm, and we tried to chase some of them off into shootable area, and they weren't cooperating. So
Like, fuck you. You're not my dad. We live here.
right.
You guys see any coyotes?
No, but I did see a really, really good-looking fox on his property.
Ooh.
They sent me up to block for him, and they were walking through, and they spooked up the fox, and it took off the other way, and I was like, "Holy shit! Look at
Oh,
that!"
Garth, sound the horn. The fox.
Tally ho!
Horses. I need to put on my riding trousers.
This day
Saddle
sounded
the
look like
Prado
the
henceforth.
chase. Every time Mike goes hunting.
I was actually reading, this was back when I was elk hunting. I was reading through that On Hunting Grizzly and other sketches, Theodore Roosevelt. The fox hunts that man went on, just in general, that they were doing back then, were insane. He's like, oh yeah, so and so broke a leg, so and so broke an arm, they're fine. So and so's horse is dead. It's all good.
God damn!
Yeah, like not just like, oh, ideal like chasing through the woods. Like, oh no, if you're gonna go fox hunting, you better have a horse that can jump a 5-foot fence and you blah 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 blah.
How
And,
is
by the time they caught up to the fox or lost the fox, only 25% of the people who started actually finished. It's like, man,
why am I
we
not
suck.
surprised Teddy Roosevelt is the only person I've heard of that can turn a fox hunt into the San Juan Hill Charge?
No, apparently this is just the general. Like this is just how I don't know. Maybe that's just how it's done in general, but at least that's how it was done back then.
You mean people die?
Technically,
Often.
the Rough Riders charged Kettle Hill.
Nerd.
Thanks.
Teddy Roosevelt's fox hunts sound a lot like my coyote hunts of my youth. Except it was more like, hey, such and such blew a tire, such and such broke a tie rod, such and such had their battery flip over because they jumped their pickup and fried their distributor. Now we got to drag them home. I have pushed a pickup 70 miles an hour across a pasture because it ran out of propane. Laughing the whole time.
That reminds me of
Very
a
good.
story that my dad has told a couple of times of him driving a 1975 station wagon across a field at 80 miles an hour while a buddy of his caps deer from the passenger side with a 30-30 Winchester.
Mm-hmm.
Hanging out the best friend.
It's okay. The statute of limitations has long passed.
He's hanging
Indeed.
out the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at the deer.
Not quite holler, but
Hey,
For legal
Vince is the
purposes.
rapper, Mike. Leave it to the professionals.
please.
They were counting coup on the deer.
Speaking
So,
of-
I got a story.
Speaking of rapper, that I like Vince's rapper. It's a very nice jacket. He's poofy.
Dave,
It was
go.
my jacket.
we in my youth, like many moons ago, far past the statute of limitations, we were out cruising around one day. It was not even at night, it was during the day, and we cut across this pasture and we jump a coyote. We're like, fuck yeah. And my dad's driving his Yukon, and I'm riding shotgun with a shotgun. Like I was actually riding shotgun, and we jump this coyote. We get on its ass, and I'm trying to pepper this coyote because we're chasing it, and I'm only running birdshot because that's what I had because I was poor, and I see just the shot splattering all around this coyote, and it cuts in front of us to the left, and so we turn to the left, and we look up. We're like, oh no. And there's an old foundation from an old homestead out in the middle of this pasture, and we're doing like fucking 70. And we're like, oh God. And we shoot the gap in between these two foundations. We're like, oh shit, yeah, we made it. And I'm hanging out the fucking window. Like my waist is on the door frame. And I hear and I look back and I was like, hey, I think something's wrong. So we stop and pull over. We caught the fucking sidewall of the tire on one of the foundations when we shot through it. So we had to change the tire on the side of the road. But it was on the right side. And we were turning left. So, the tire that had the hole in it was where all the weight was going of this Yukon or Tahoe. And I was like, hey, if we had like moved over a quarter of an inch, my ass would be in half right now. So that was the last time that I hung out of a window.
It's amazing how near-death experiences make you not do the dumb thing anymore. And then those who die doing the dumb things, that's not the first time they did that dumb thing. They did it repeatedly, didn't die doing it, so they thought they could keep doing it until they died.
I think some people die the first time.
That's fair.
So there's that
I think-
one time we went to pick up a tripod at the lease when I was hunting with my in-laws, and we strapped it into the back of the old Dodge pickup, and it's just sitting there, and it's a seat in the back of a pickup, but it's about 5 feet above the bed, and we're like, hey, why don't you climb up in there and sit there while we go up this road and see if anything pops out? So I'm driving up this old logging road with my brother-in-law in the back of the pickup, sitting in a tripod, looking around, and we get up to the main road, and I finally stop, and I'm like, "Do you see anything?" He's like, I don't know. I was too busy worried about staying in this seat. So anyway,
that's wild.
All right. Well, I've got an unboxing to do real quick, and I need a weeb's opinion on everything in this box. So I do
resident weeb.
Some of us.
Weeb your life up.
I mean, Vince was in on it this year. I don't think Dave and Mike were in on it, but through different a gun group, we do a gift exchange thing, and I got it long before Christmas, and then my wife promptly squirreled it away, thinking it was a Christmas present. And so I'm running around the world going, this asshole stiffed me. Some asshole out there stiffed me. If I find him, I'm going to fucking ban him. And no, it just turns out it was hidden in a tub of junk. So, yeah. So
unbox me, Daddy.
I'm a boot your ass.
Yeah, I'm done. Bye. So
did Mike, did you send this to him?
Of strange
no.
oriental trinkets we have
No.
an itty bitty little samurai sword letter opener.
That's kind of cool.
First, we gotta pop the lid off. It says it's made in
not-
Japan. I don't believe that whatsoever.
Made in Japan. The sticker was made in Japan. The rest was made in China.
It's not very sharp. That's unfortunate.
The writing was made in Japan.
We can try and skin a beaver with this.
It'll be about
Don't tempt me
as
to do dumb shit for memes.
it's roughly the quality of most samurai swords.
Garbage. We have a little
Pig iron
can
folded
of-
over and over again.
Do you recognize whatever the hell this is? Something sake brewing. Hakusuru.
No, I don't recognize that, but it looks good.
Well, let's see what it is.
I think it's sake.
Y'all check out Spotify for my new German, Japanese
I've never actually had sake before.
gangster rap videos.
Doesn't smell alcoholic.
It tastes like rice flavored vodka, honestly.
Yep, that's sake then. Because that is alcoholic, and I get the rice flavor. I'm gonna drink this then.
I honestly, rice flavored vodka is pretty
No,
cool.
smash it. Drink it all.
Hey,
Chug,
Do it.
chug, chug.
I enjoy
Chug.
my
You ain't got no
Sake
nipples.
is meant to be.
Fuck off.
um,
You want to see my nipples?
Nope.
No, thank you.
I don't give a fuck because I can't see shit right now. So whip them out.
I need like the South Park. I need the little flaps. Yeah.
Oh, this is making me so moist right now. Oh,
Oh boy. And then there's some kind of
someone please
snack.
get Mel
It looks
Gibson
like
out
a
of
little
here.
mini Twinkie.
Ooh.
What the hell not? Let's just keep on going. Sorry about all
I-
the crinkling on the
I bet
audio.
it's garlic flavored.
I gotta unmute myself.
I liked the crinkling. It was part of the comment. It's probably
I didn't even
generally.
hear it.
Yes,
It's a
Brett.
crinkly
Apparently,
twinkly.
Sam does not have nipples.
It's not Twinkie on the inside though.
What is it on the inside?
I bet it's
I have
garlic.
no idea.
Shrimp.
Is it garlic?
Not a,
It's not garlic. It's slightly sweet.
is it ube? Sweet
What
potato?
the fuck is ube?
Sweet potato stuff.
I hate sweet potatoes. It doesn't taste like a sweet potato, so
Okay.
I'll use Google Translate on all these rappers later. But I thought it was more fun just to be an American and fuck translations.
I thought it was more fun to just shove it in my mouth.
Oh, they also sent me a fake rose with a Viagra pill stuck to it. I gave it to my dog. She's a girl. All my dogs are girls though, so I'm not sure what happened. I get some little refreshing mint breeze
just-
Japanese breath mint.
Your dog just couldn't bend at the waist for a while.
That hysterectomy reversed itself, and then
You know what happens when you give Viagra to a politician?
they fuck
Gets-
you even harder.
He gets taller.
And then whatever the hell this is, it's probably another snack sweet thing.
Do it.
More
Do it.
snack. Open
Open.
snack.
Open snack. Oh, it's wrapped in foil. I hope it's radioactive.
I hope
I
it's
should
I
steal
tell you
Krampus
guys-
next time. Maybe somebody will send me a bunch of weeb shit. That's cool.
Did I
as
tell
fuck.
you guys that my
Did you
dad
say
used to own a-
weeb shit or
Yeah.
weed shit?
Weeb shit.
No, with
Did
a
I
B.
tell you guys my dad used to own a printing press that was made in Nagasaki in the 50s,
Really?
and it was green. It was a Hamada printing press,
Cool.
offset type, because my dad used to be a printer by trade, and so offset type, which offset type printing is fucking. When the world switched to Xerox and just inkjet printing, it became worse. Offset printing is so much cooler, but yeah, it was made in Nagasaki.
I hope that's soap. Eat it.
No, it's vaguely purple inside.
Ube.
What the hell is ube?
Yeah.
I just told you
No
it's sweet
idea.
potato.
Ube.
Ube is a sweet
Ube.
potato candy almost that they just put a tiny bit of sugar in it, but
Well,
They-
there's more than a tiny bit of sugar in that. There's a lot of sugar in that.
all of the ube stuff from Okinawa is purple because most of the sweet potatoes on Okinawa are purple. And so some of the ones that aren't purple, they will dye purple just to, be Okinawan.
And that's what's wrong with Japan.
There's something really wrong with
We
this.
have red dye 40. You can't say it's Japan's problem.
Red dye 40 is just ground up bug parts. All right.
There was nothing
You're
wrong
ground up
with
bug parts.
there was nothing wrong with purple sweet potatoes, but I do have a problem with dyeing regular sweet potatoes purple to be more Japanese.
Indeed.
Not the regular sweet potatoes, the candy. They put the purple dye in the candy when the potato isn't quite enough.
What is the alcohol
Ugh.
content of sake, by the way?
Usually
Chug
about
it.
15%.
Chug
Okay,
it.
So basically like
15%?
wine.
It's triple sec.
Yeah, it's literally rice wine.
Drink the
Fucking-
rest.
Ugh.
So all I know about sake is the Last Samurai and Tom Cruise yelling,
Sake!
"Sake!"
It's because he's an alcoholic and it's the only alcohol he knows of.
I actually kind of like this. I've never had it before.
Well, you
I
like
like-
vodka,
I
so
like-
it doesn't surprise me you like it.
I like the fact, yeah, that it's not like strongly flavored because
Mhm.
that's one of the things I like about vodka is it's just like clean flavored. It's just like
Yeah.
The
like
more you
bourbon
learn about
barrels.
liquor, the more you understand that it doesn't taste like itself. It tastes like whatever it's aged in.
oh, that's what or made out of. To a point. That's why corn vodka tastes like shit because it's made from fucking corn syrup.
What about grape vodka? Get you some
I've never had
Ciroc.
Is that what Ciroc is?
Yeah.
I actually liked Ciroc a lot.
If you drink Ciroc, you're gonna buy a Hellcat.
I mean, that's fucking wrong.
Wait, like the pistol or the car?
No, the car.
Oh,
And then you're gonna do
drink Ciroc
street takeovers.
then. I'm into this. Oh, wait. Are we talking of like a freaking new Hellcat or like
No, a new
an
one.
actual? Oh,
Yeah,
fuck,
like
that's
one that's
gay then.
financed at 30%.
That's gay
Yep.
then. If we were talking like, 70
Hmm.
Hellcat,
Also financed at 30%.
my
I'm
dad
just-
used to have.
I'm
a
laughing
fucking,
at the chat.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dude, Bob's going to be your writer.
But yeah,
30, 45, 55, 60 crossbows for a Daikyo.
Somebody for the kitty.
for the
Somebody wrap
kids.
that.
35, 45, 55 city crossbows for the coyotes, my pee-pee for the kitties from the first single Dove tracks off his latest album, Tater Daddy's Tripod.
Okay, so this show title was going to be all about Mike, but sorry, it's
It's
not Tater
Tater.
Daddy.
Tater Daddy's
tripod.
Shit.
God damn
Tater
it, Bob.
Daddy's tripod. So we were down in Texas last year. The guys were making up stripper names, and Butter Spud came up as my favorite. Tater Daddy's right in there with it. Butter Spud and Tater Daddy. It can be like a double feature.
Oh man. I feel like that's a callback to Ron White.
You know, Bob Eminem over there is just like fire.
Aren't you supposed to heat sake up when you drink it too?
You can. It tastes really good warm.
Rub it on your nipples.
Fucking disgusting. Ugh. Warm drink.
Look, I'd show
besides
my nipples
coffee.
live, but
I'm
I'm
honestly
not that easy. I'm a bit of a whore. So if you want me to show my nipples live, I need a good price and a bribe.
I'm honestly a bit grumbly. I didn't do the
He's got family. He's got Fansly. He doesn't like the corporation of OnlyFans. He's a horror hipster.
You
I have
got some cool shit, man. That's whoever did that. That's fucking awesome.
Look,
They either live in Japan
this
or
little-
they.
this little letter opener. I want to mount it in your fucking Prado.
I want to let you.
Your Prado needs a samurai sword, and you could wave it outside the window when you drive around.
How
That's
funny would
good.
it be if he hung that little samurai sword in your Prado and your radio started talking nicer to you?
Speaking of which, let's glue it to the ETC reader.
Done. I'll bring the JB Weld. Hmm. All right.
Micah-san.
Dude, yesterday morning, I was walking around and people were like, "Good morning, Mr. Mike," and I was like, "Ohio gozaimasu," and they're, "What? What did you just say to me? Ohio gozaimasu? Are you having a
Ohio?
stroke? What does Ohio have to do with it?" I was like, "It's Japanese for good morning," and they were like, "You're."
I gotta find out who sent me this shit. Actually, hold it. What was the name of the box? Jason S.
They're converting you.
I
Yep.
mean, the sake might do it. The best way, blah blah. The first best way to get to my heart is food. The second best way is with decent alcohol. So,
And the
Which is
add-on
ironic
to alcohol
because-
is it opens him up too.
whoa. Like I said,
Ooh,
Hey.
they bought you a drink.
honey,
Exactly.
Money
They
first.
bought you a drink. They handed you a samurai sword, and you're just over there like, "Whoa, this is so cool!" And suddenly you're in the back of a Cadillac, wondering where your pants went.
Next thing I know, my computer's dead from watching too many fucking hentai movies.
And he's trying to commit harakiri with that stupid little sword, and he's like, it won't even.
Yeah, that would suck. It's a little dull for that.
Same.
It's not working.
I don't think it would get through the layers.
Quick, cut my head off.
Even that would take a while.
Damn.
Bob wants to know what's the fourth best way to your heart.
Wait, that was only 2. What was the third one?
I think he knows the third one.
The fourth one is profit, though. Step 1.
Well, I mean,
food.
obviously,
Step 2,
food,
alcohol.
alcohol,
Step
money, and
Step 4, profit.
good conversation.
Com block guns.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah.
Nothing
I'm
chubs
not
him up
gonna
like a
say.
good Romanian wazer.
Fuck it. Oh, I got more class than that.
No, you fucking don't.
He
You just
drinks
pretend
sake
you
now.
do.
God damn
it. Now it's in Narenko.
it.
Oh, military surplus. That's the fourth way. Oops.
Yep.
Dave, is he a Japanese hipster now?
Ooh, what would you call that?
Japanipster. No, that's horrible.
That sounds fucking terrible, sir.
Awesome.
It
should be
has
ashamed.
the nip in it.
Sam is the opposite of a Japanipster at this point. He won't even show a nipple.
God, that's a never say that again. How
Money
about
your trade goods.
Japanese?
You'll see it. That's all I gotta
I'm-
say. Money
I'm-
your trade goods.
I wrote down Japanipster, by the way.
Hard end.
Japanese.
No,
If
just
you have to
move
ask what a
on.
number, if you have to ask what a number 3 is, you can't afford it.
Alrighty.
But Bob has.
Sorry,
options.
I
He can
stole-
afford it.
I stole Bob's joke.
That's fine. Well,
I discovered a thing. I don't know if I talked about this the last show or not, but we all watch another podcast, and one of the hosts or one of our buddies actually got a new thermal laser rangefinder, and that posed the question, like, how legal is that to use?
missed.
And it turns out in Colorado, you can use a thermal laser rangefinder for big game during legal shooting hours. Mm-hmm.
Intriguing.
So this has opened up an entirely new world of possibilities for me. It is a monocular. It's a standalone. It's not attached to the rifle. It's not a scope. Doesn't have a reticle or anything like that. It is a thermal laser rangefinder, and that's it. So it's like a pair of binoculars, kind of, but a monocular, and you can use it to hunt big game. Which to me is like, if I'm staring at a fucking mountainside and I'm using binoculars, I'm looking for like any little thing, little tail wiggle, an ear
Mhm.
flake, fucking antlers underneath a branch, something like that. If I have this thermal now, that's a game changer.
You can be like, "There's
Yes, sir.
Bigfoot. There he
Yes.
is over there."
Mm-hmm.
Found
I
him.
mean, because looking through a thermal, anything that gives off that thermal signature will stand out from the environment if there is a significant difference. And just like looking through mine and playing around at night, I've noticed that, yeah, stuff that is animal stands out, even compared to rocks that have absorbed thermal energy during the daytime.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, looking at a hillside, it's I have to imagine that it's like cheating. Like, you could look at that
That's what I thought, too.
hillside for hours with a spotting scope or binoculars, but you scan it with a thermal, like, nope, nothing there. And move along.
Yeah. I mean, do you know how much time you would save? And two, like proper identification? Like if you think you see something and it could be like, I don't know, like a cinnamon colored bear, but you think it might be an elk because it hasn't moved, because it's bedded down. And it's a rangefinder, which is fucking cool. And I have an email into ATN. ATN is who makes it, or makes this particular one that I'm talking about anyway. But it blew my mind that it was legal for big game.
Yeah, that seems.
It does seem like cheating.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it was legal, but it's not attached to a firearm, because in Colorado, anything that has like a microchip in your optic makes it a quote unquote smart rifle, and smart rifles are illegal. So you cannot use like what is it, the SIG Kilo scope for the rangefinder. You range something with the rangefinder and it talks to the scope, and then the scope puts a little, or like the Burris exterminator or whatever it is, where it actually puts a dot to where your hold should be in your reticle.
Right, that fancy stuff.
Yeah, that's illegal to use for big game in Colorado. However, since this is not attached to a rifle, it's not illegal.
Huh.
So, to the letter of the law, you can use a thermal. You could even use a thermal monocular, not even a rangefinder, for big game during legal shooting hours.
And I will note that this came from a game warden.
Indeed, it did.
How much did this thing cost, though?
$2,500.
Fuck me.
Which is $1,000 less than a thermal scope.
I mean, thermal is a ridiculous shift in what you can perceive in the environment. It's hard to comprehend if you haven't looked through it. It's kind of nuts. Yeah. It's not perfect because it can be. Sam's over there committing seppuku.
No, I was trying to get Mike's attention. But
he's making pixelated bukkake.
Moving on.
What was I even saying? I don't even. It's not infallible. I mean, it doesn't work in if it's really humid or wet out. It's not very good. You'll get a gray screen in front of you if it's raining out. I mean, it's not going to work. But in the right conditions, you can get a pretty good picture of of even trees and brush and everything that's out there. Let alone being able to identify that there is an animal on the ridge 800 yards distant.
Can you imagine, though, like you're looking for mountain goats on a snowy mountain. Everything's goddamn white, including the mountain goats. And then you whip out this thermal and it's like, oh yeah, there's 6 up there. That it won't give you the identification of like Billy versus Nanny, but you'll know that they're there.
Right. It doesn't replace your spotting scope or your high powered binos, but it does. What am I trying to say? It gives you that first, not identification, but
location.
Yeah.
You can hone in on where they are and actually see them as animals once you actually know exactly where they are, because you can be like, I saw the thermal in the trees. I know something's in there. And then you can watch, you see them come out, or you see,
that's a rock.
Right.
Or, that's a bedded deer, or, that's a mountain goat, or, that's Bigfoot. I should probably leave.
Yeah. Oh no.
So
if I see Bigfoot, the stock is on, sir.
I posed a question to my older brother, and I was asking about. So if you were walking through the wilderness and a game warden comes on you and you're armed with a rifle and it's the
Whoa.
middle of nothing and you say, what he says, what are you doing? You say, I'm hunting Bigfoot. Well, where do you go from there? A long, complicated discussion ensued that we'll spare for another time. However, I shared this with another friend of mine, and he was like, did you know that in Washington, it is actually illegal to hunt Bigfoot because they reasoned that if Bigfoot does exist, he's most likely a protected species, and therefore it must be illegal.
Did you know that in Oklahoma, it is expressly legal to hunt Bigfoot?
That is the exact opposite of Washington.
It is, in fact, the exact opposite of Washington. It seems problematic both ways, honestly.
It does.
Like, no,
In
sir,
any
I was not attempting to kill my brother-in-law. I was hunting Bigfoot,
Well,
which is perfectly legal.
And in
Anyway.
fact, encouraged.
See, I
heard
like
there's-
Oklahoma's take on it. If he's out there, kill him so we know. Which, that's my take. If he's out there, kill him. So, and my brother was like, well, my older brother, not the fish squeezer. He was like, well, what if he has a family? And I was like,
We'll kill them too. That's why we track them for a while.
I wonder if wanton waste laws apply.
it's not a game species, so no.
We can turn them into sausage.
But you can hunt him. I mean, I guess I don't have to have a tag, so
Right.
That would definitely be a full body mount. That's gonna be an expensive one.
Let's just call it an invasive species and you can kill it on site.
I still think the idea of the foot mount is just perfectly feasible. Like, gets the idea across. And I don't have the room around here for a full 9-foot, skeleton. And
Well,
So what if
You
what if you just did the foot and the head and you mounted the head to the foot on the ankle and you had Bigfoot's head foot?
I think we had this discussion while you were gone one time, and I put forth that mounting the head on the foot and leaving it on the coffee table was perfectly reasonable. That you don't have to do a full body mount of Bigfoot. You can, in fact, just take the foot and the skull, and you're good.
100% agree. And then if you get the whole family, you can. It's like the stick figures on the back of the minivans. You can have this little family of big feets, but on your coffee table, and it's just heads and ankles.
It's like the Thing from the Addams Family, except it's a foot. Like, this is far less useful.
Good times.
Alrighty then. We've hit an hour and 42 minutes.
So, if you want to try the mediator, you should definitely put the mediator on your shotgun. You should definitely use the coupon code Mike Podcast.
Don't forget. We don't have any mic news and legal updates surrounding miking. On tonight's segment of Spotlighting with Mike, what the mic is going on here? Or the Otter Creek Labs Polonium 30. What's Mike good for?
Why is that even in there?
I don't think Mike left any mics tonight, so I'm not going to send any mics out to Mike.
I'm gonna have to go take a mic before I go to bed.
Shameless mikery.
Operation Shameless Mike.
I'm going for a mic in the woods. Anyway, support the sport and take a mic hunting. If you like that mic, tell them about our show. If you don't,
Music.
credits, the other guy. If you don't like that other buddy, send him to Mike Eater. Hit us up at mike.com. Thanks for listening, and let's go, Mike. Email at mike@lghpodcast.com.
Oh, wait, on the mic radio.
Funny thing is that is my email.
That's legit.
That was the only thing correct about this episode.
Right.
All right, off air. It's definitely the Tater Daddy's tripod. We're done now, Dr. Scary Guy.